Hello everybody. This is me. You don't see me, I know. What's going on right now is I am showing you. I'm gonna work on something different today. The little clips that I've been doing prior for the last few several weeks are finished, but the reason that I'm not working on them is because the my Storyboard Pro is not. I'm not able to activate it yet because I got a new computer, and I think, as I mentioned before, Storyboard Pro is a peculiarity in that it'll only work on one computer at a time. So tech support has been working with me for the last several days to try to reactivate my Storyboard Pro, which they will do. So that's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. And so I'm not working on any of that because I wanted to be able to show you everything in context. What you're seeing right now is a piece of animation that I actually started quite a while back, and in the color that you see where it stops was where I had ended the scene. But I thought, well, this is always was a fun scene to work on, so I thought I would carry on and do more on it. So as you'll see, there's pencil animation here, taking the scene a little further. So, anyways, so I thought I'd work on that. So that's what we're going to do today. Um, so we shall proceed. So I've got our little character here, our girl. She's landed in the water, and then she is swimming toward camera. So I'm doing something kind of specific here. Once she lands in the water here, then she starts to, well, the very next frame, she's underwater here. So she's coming toward camera, and then as she gets close to camera, the camera is pivoting, and then she's going off into the distance like that. So I'm having her kind of turn as she's coming toward camera. So I'm adding in-betweens in here. Here she's getting closer, so I can add an in-between in here. So I'll go over to add drawing, add after. And I think what I'll do here is take this head, which is closer. I'm going to grab it, copy it, go back a frame, paste it, hold down the shift key, and then I'll reduce this head down so that it's somewhere in between these two heads. And I try to line it up so that it's almost kind of perfectly in between. So you got there, there, there. Alright, and so there, now I can work on the other part of the in-between. So what I'll do is erase out the things that are the same. Let's see. So I'd say maybe like her arm is going to start to, her arm would probably go back. Well, it's probably going to go down because this hand here is kind of sweeping down, you see, like that. And then that hand on the other side is kind of doing the same thing. It's sweeping down, you see. It's catching order that way. Let's see, in here, probably her breasts are probably here. And her body's here in the back. Let's see. So you got the legs straight there. And then they're going to come out here. So then that means that, so it's got to come out. Start to come out. You do kind of a rough just sketch in a position. See that foot. You just you need to do something so that you can see if it's going in the right direction. And you sketch it a little bit, and if it looks like it's kind of right, and you flip, you go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I'd say the butt's maybe coming up a little too quickly. We have to adjust that. Let's see. Maybe the butt's down here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. 1, 2, 3. Now that leg here in the back probably looks like it's kind of tricky there. And the hair, see, that's another one. So you got the hair. 1, 2. Okay, that's coming out. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3. So you see the hair's going from here to here. Let's see. So the hair's there, and then it's there. So the middle point's it's doing something in here. Yeah. Sometimes the way you can get around problems like this is to handle things separately. Where you can animate all the heads and then go back and do the hair completely by itself, so that it has a much more of a flow to it. That does work pretty well. It's a little more work, but it looks right. So let's see. We'll flip this, and you flip it. You can kind of see it while we're looking. We have to look at the whole thing though to get to that part. Oh yeah, okay, that's not bad. I like Rough Animator in this sense because you can actually do your whole film straight ahead, and you don't have to edit anything. Though I think editing is better. I mean, if you animate the scenes separately, like I've been doing on some of the other stuff, but it makes a lot more sense because when you're editing stuff, sometimes you may find that you want to move scenes around or cut a little bits off of scenes, where if you do it this way, you're pretty much stuck with whatever your choices are. You can't really do anything about it editing wise. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's see, the arms seem like they're doing the right thing, I guess. Let's see. Well, so yeah, it looks like to me though, I think now that I think about it, it seems like these arms should be almost off the camera here. Let's see. Yeah. Because she's coming closer to the camera. Let's see. I mean, it could be. Well, it could almost be overlapping down like that, really. Yeah. Like she's still, like the hands are still up. They haven't completely come down yet. Yeah. And so you see how rough this is in it. Play that again, let's see. See, we have to go through everything before you can see it. That's not too bad. Rough Animator also, a nice thing is that when you stop it, it goes right back to your position where you're working. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to kind of finish this out here. see. Yeah, I mean, there's some drawback to um, working this way because as you're looking at your test, you're having to look at the entire thing instead of just the new scene that you're animating, which I guess might be a little frustrating, as you're way down into this film. Who's to say how many scenes you may have animated back to back? So I guess I guess you'd have to determine whether that's a viable way for you to work or not. It might not be. Generally speaking, you would do each scene separately, and then you would edit the scenes together. That would be easier. You're going to have shorter scenes, which you can make, because as you're animating, you're kind of you really want to focus on what you're doing at that moment, really. And if you're having to look through an entire all of the stuff you've animated just to get to the scene that you're at, I mean, I guess you could jump ahead and I mean, because the ref animator is playing the scene over and over. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just recently decided to try doing this way. So I don't know. I mean, I may one of the I like trying different things to see how well they work. But I'm not above changing my mind. At some point, if I think that it was a bad choice, then I might not do it again. But it just depends. I mean, this scene is really kind of very whimsical. I wasn't really, I didn't have a storyboard of what I wanted to do here. I just started animating. So, I didn't have a plan here. I was just kind of making it up as I go. Sometimes that kind of works in your favor to make things up as you go. It can be kind of nice. Okay, that seems like that's working pretty good. I guess another way you could look at it is you could animate things in chunks. Like for instance here, I've got. Let's see, it looks like I've got 3 scenes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scenes in a row. So I mean, that's not bad. That has some advantages. And she's coming forward here, and then she's okay. Now here what's happening is she's going from here to here. She's turning, so it's like I'm making the effect of the camera. It looks like the camera's turning. So I'll add an in between in here after. And let's see. So here, I'll do a head in between here, but I'll do, so it's going to be a bigger head. Let's see. Now I have the ear getting bigger here. Let's kind of roughly sketch that in between. Let's see. Draw the eye line there, so the eye, and then draw an eye in between. So let's say, their head's turning, and then her nose is turning. See, so, all right. And she's looking forward like that. Eyebrow, roughly there. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just really very roughly just kind of trying to sketch where things would be. roughly. Yeah, just rough. Scribble it out. Now you can see, you're going to go from there to there to there. So that's not too bad. That's kind of working somewhat smoothly. Her hair, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say one thing you might try when you're doing future scenes is you might try animating the body and, without the hair, and then, do the hair later. Let's see, she's going forward. What does the arm do? Well, maybe I'm keeping the arms forward. So yeah, maybe she's just got her arms out in front of her like this. And let's see. Well, her body would just be getting bigger back here. And her hair is probably just flowing, like that. So we're going here to there, yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of nail down a little bit more. Let's see. Forehead, maybe a bit there. The nose. There we go. And this eye. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could do if you were to do all of the bodies and you left out the hair and put the hair in last, then you would be animating the hair straight ahead, which is actually not a bad way to go, because then the hair would have its own movement, and that movement would be purely based on how the head is moving, which is what it should be, really. But it is more work. You have to, it means you have to go back and frame by frame, you have to add the hair. You add it right on the drawing. You don't need to add it on a separate layer unless you want to. You could add it on a separate layer, but you would add it right on the drawing so that you're following her head, so that your drawing is going to move with, her hair is going to move with the rest of her body, or with her head particularly, which is what it's supposed to do. So, yeah. There we go. So get that arm there. I always love to get to the more finished things. I'm just, I guess it's the illustrator in me, I guess. I just love getting to a more finalized drawing. I think for me, it's more of a sense of an accomplishment that I've actually accomplished the drawing itself. The thing the word, one word that I hate the most is off model. Off model. That's off model. It's off model. And it's like I used to always hate hearing that. I know what it means. It means that I've got drawings that are off model, that don't look exactly like the model sheet. But I don't know. I have this view of that okay, you get as close as you can get, right? Because the audience doesn't give a crap. As long as you've got a character that looks pretty close, you can be a little off model. I don't, you're just saying that because you're lazy, you don't want to do the hard work. Hey, look, I've done the hard work.
Lord knows that there have been plenty of films that I've worked on where I worked my ass off to try to get something to look like it was on model. And, then I'll have one supervisor say, oh, yeah, that's great, looks great. And another one, well, it's a little off model. It's like, oh, God, And it's just like, you people need to shut up, because you never finish the damn thing. You keep going back and doing it over. And, okay, whatever. But, I think, and also I believe that to some degree that when things are done, when it's a human being doing it, there's going to be imperfections. And I think to some degree those imperfections are just something that you have to live with. Yeah, that's working. How are we doing time-wise? All right. I could probably go back later and add some bubbles and stuff. Well, for those of you who have seen this scene in the past before, maybe you'll be happy to see it again. So, we'll see. All right, well, we'll stop here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As soon as I can get settled back with my Storyboard Pro, we will go back to that group of scenes, and I'll show you how everything comes together in the final. All right. Okay. So have a great day. See you tomorrow.